They call it the Empire State, the city that never sleeps. But beneath those shiny labels is a tale of grit, greed, and guts. From a muddy trading post to the skyscrapers piercing the clouds, fought through disasters, corruption, and some seriously dark days to become what it is. We're unpacking 400 years of economic booms, brutal busts, and everything in between. This is New York. Let's rewind to 1624, way before skyscrapers or Wall Street. New York's just a speck called New Amsterdam, slapped down by the Dutch on Manhattan's southern tip. The Dutch West India Company's got their eyes on the prize. Furs, trade routes, a foothold in the New World. They strike a deal with the Lenape people. Goods worth 60 guilders. Tools, cloth, maybe some beads. History loves to romanticize it as $24, but here's the kicker. The Lenape saw it as a truce, not a sale. Fast forward to 1664, and the English show up with warships, flexing muscle. Peter Stuyvesant, the peg-legged Dutch boss, fumes but folds, without any shots fired. By the 1700s, New York's starting to flex its muscles. It's a port humming with rum, sugar, and yeah, the slave trade, dark as that is. Then 1776 rolls in and bam, the American Revolution hits hard. George Washington's here, but he's outgunned. The Battle of Brooklyn, 2,000 American casualties. The New York Historical Society names it a disaster. He retreats, and a fire, some blame patriots, torches 500 homes that September. The British hold it for 7 years, a chokehold till they bounce in '83. New York's free, but it's a mess. Then 1789, Washington's back, swearing in as president at Federal Hall. The city's the U.S. capital for a hot second, buzzing with promise. Jump to 1825. The Erie Canal opens, a 363-mile game changer. Freight costs crash from $100 a ton to $10, and trade explodes. Immigrants, Irish, German, Italian, flood in, pouring sweat equity into tenements and streets. Wall Street's born, churning cash into power. But it's a pressure cooker. War scars, poverty, and ambition are about to clash big time. New York's rise, it's no fairy tale, it's a slugfest. The 1800s hit like a freight train. (1832). Cholera tears through, killing 3,500 in weeks, per the New York Academy of Medicine. 5 Points is a cesspool, dirty water, packed bodies. Then 1835, the Great Fire, 700 buildings gone, $20 million in damages. They rebuild, but the punches keep coming. (1863), the draft riots. Civil War draft laws spark fury. Poor Irish workers won't die for a rich man's war. Mobs burn the colored orphan asylum, lynch black New Yorkers, over 120 dead. $1.5 million in wreckage. Then 1929, the Wall Street crash. By 33, 25% of New Yorkers are jobless, breadlines stretching blocks. New York's got a dirty secret. Corruption's baked into its bones. Enter Tammany Hall, the political machine running the show from the 1800s. It's simple. Jobs and favors for immigrant votes, Irish, Italian, you name it. By the 1860s, Boss Tweed's the kingpin, pocketing millions. That courthouse, $13 million more than the U.S. Capitol while kids starved. The 1920s? Mayor Jimmy Walker's swimming in prohibition bribes, hobnobbing with mobsters while cops take cuts. Then 1975, the city's broke, staring down a $2.3 billion federal bailout. Power here's a greased wheel. Loyalty trumps law every time. It built the city, sure, but it bled the little guy dry. Sound familiar? It's all part of how power stayed greasy here. Now let's talk mafia. New York's shadow economy. Prohibition kicks off in 1920 and it's like lighting a match in a gas tank. Booze bans birth bootleggers. And the five families, Gambino, Genovese, Lucchese, Colombo, Bonanno, carve up the city. Gambling, unions, even trash collection. They own it. Lucky Luciano's the mastermind, forging a syndicate in 31 that's pure muscle. By the 70s and 80s, it's a bloodbath. Heroin and crack flood the streets. NYPD stats show 2,605 murders in 1980 alone.
Let's tell it like it is. We have achieved very little permanent rehabilitation.
John Gotti, the Teflon Don, struts untouchable, until the FBI's RICO Act slams him in '92.
It was The Godfather without the fancy music, but with a great storyline. The camera angles weren't very flattering, and the sound quality wasn't great, but the jury thought the content nailed John Gotti and his co-defendant, Frank Locascio. The cast of onlookers was first-rate, as Gotti bragged to court officers about his pulling power after being chided by guards for just attracting boxer Ronaldo Snipes to the gallery.
I think that the greatest drama is being played in this courtroom today, that if a friendship isn't worth anything, I mean, our whole system of life is in question here.
Quinn is talking about one-time Gotti friend Sam Gravano, who sang his heart out about 19 murders. Some of them, he said, ordered by Gotti. Through the testimony, Gotti smirked and stared down Gravano. At one point, the judge warned Gotti he'd move the case out of New York. Unanswered, why Gotti talked so freely at the Ravenite Social Club in an apartment above it about the Cosa Nostra and whacking people. Also baffled, why Gotti chose as underboss Sammy Bull Gravano, who later turned on him. Gravano on the stand remaining unshaken as he described how Gotti ordered the killing of Gambino boss Paul Castellano. Even in its dull moments, the trial was dramatic, a case interrupted by bomb scares. In Brooklyn, an attempted hit on the sister of another possible witness. A defense attorney cited for contempt. A woman bursting into the court shouting, Gravano killed her sons. Gotti criticizing the prosecution's air duties. Uttering comments, the judge warning Gotti he'd be removed from the courtroom to watch the proceedings on TV. Gotti defiant to the last. And U.S. Attorney Andrew Maloney almost blowing the case in his summation, indicating the jury should be frightened to convict Gotti. In the end, 12 jurors tried and true, sequestered during the 10-week trial, made their decision. And unless there's a dramatic appeal, a sequel, fade to black on John Gotti. In Manhattan, Steve Powers, Fox News.
The 1971 French Connection bust. $32 million in drugs seized, says the DEA. These guys didn't just cash in, they shaped New York's edge. Some say their grip's weaker now, but so what's New York made of? The good's unreal. 1886, the Statue of Liberty lands. A French gift welcoming 12 million immigrants. Jazz rips out of Harlem in the 20s. Hip-hop kicks off in the Bronx in '73. Cultural gold. Wall Street's a global beast, driving billions. The bad? The '70s nearly bankrupt the city. $1.5 billion deficit. Subway's a crime den. 1,814 murders in '75. Greed still festers. The ugly. September 11, 2001, 2,977 lives lost, $10 billion in damage per the 9/11 Commission.
Some very, very sketchy details reaching us here at Sky Centre. Important enough to bring to you, though, at this early stage. We believe that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York.
Right now we're getting information, Al, that it was a small commuter plane, and of course we'll let people know as soon as we have more information as to what actually caused this, and of course on everybody's mind who might have been hurt.
60 on page 1.
Towers crumble. But New York fights back. One World Trade rises in 2014. Its dreamers and hustlers, poets and predators. Central Park's calm against Times Square's chaos. New York's a messy, but oh so beautifully messy masterpiece. It's been a trading post, a war zone, a mob playground, and it's still standing tall. This history's a mirror, showing ambition's highs and humanity's lows. What do you think defines this city? Drop it in the comments, I read them all. If this deep dive hit you, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your crew, and subscribe for more. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one.